Hello, everyone. Welcome to today. As I just was saying off camera, actually, I'm really excited to have a bunch of amazing humans here. This masterclass is so bloody helpful. Let's just say that. All right. Different things that you can do literally right now. Why do these things keep switching off? There we go. Hi, Vaughn. Good to see you. Say hello, everybody, in the chat box. What do I want to say to you? Yeah. I was reviewing all of this morning and I was just like, God, it's just juicy, 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 juicy. All right. I don't always say that. I'm like, yeah, we're just teaching some things today. But today it's like, it's the 11th, right? Like if you're watching this back, it might not be the 11th, but right now it's the 11th. And so, there is so much that can still be done to finish your year off strong, right? And continue into next year in a far more impactful way, all right? And you're going to see all of that as we go through today, really, anyway, all right? It is an interactive process, okay? You get to be as selfish as you'd like. All right. If you want to type in a question that is something really, specific to you or even generalized that might help, the group and everybody who's watching this now and watching it back, please type it in. Don't make it too long. I've got to be able to sort of read it and answer and all the rest of it. But please, use and abuse this time that we have together here and now. And obviously, if you are watching the hashtag replay, you have my full permission to reach out and stuff like that as well. Don't let this be another, masterclass or webinar or, workshop that you've gone to where you leave and then don't implement anything. All right. That would be the most, useless thing. All right. Off the back of today would be for us to sit here, spend this time together, for you to, give this, whatever it might be, about 90 minutes, I'd say, to give this 90 minutes a go, watch it all, and then go, and make this another year or another month or another masterclass where you don't actually take the knowledge, take the information, and go and change or, enact something. All right. Because the fastest way to, between you and the success that you're after right now, is literally measured in the actions that you're willing to take. All right. And also, I have podcasts on my brain right now because I'm recording a couple of podcasts this afternoon. If you've been listening or watching my podcast, what you'll see is that across all of the 7-figure business owners that I'm speaking to, right? The difference is their ability to implement. All right. Take the things they understand and know, learn a new strategy, tweak something, take the action, do the thing, have the courage, right? And so they've gotten to where they are, by all of those small steps equaling a huge result. Okay. And what we know to be true as well about this is that, if you are procrastinating, or if you are a perfectionist, or if you overthink things and stuff like that, again, think about your timeline and how much you're stretching out, the journey between you and everything that you want. So the faster implementers are the ones who are most likely to succeed. It's that simple. And if shit hits the fan, it is also the ones that can pick their fucking crown up, dust it off, put it back on their head and keep going. Okay. Like if there are any, people are saying guilty, right? If there is anything, like even just that, if you've learned one thing on this first slide, we've got about another 24 to go, just take that one piece of advice. All right. Don't let this year coming or the end of this year be another, womp womp. Right. Oh, well, next year's another year, or better luck next time. I put a post up the other day that literally said something like, hoping that next year will be a better year is not a fucking strategy. It's just simply not. All right. So, let's actually put some strategic intentions in place. Now, what I will say, one more quick thing, and then we're going to jump in, is that, predominantly what I'm giving you today, okay, is what we call short, hard asks. All right. Like short-term strategies that you can implement right now so that you continue to have a successful, like December and finish to 2023. All right. You need to play the short-term game, the medium-term game, and the long-term game in business. And to be honest with you, out of all of those sort of strategies, I suppose, the most important that you play is the long-term game. Okay. So today is not for the long-term game. I'm just letting you know that now. I want you to get fucking bagged for Christmas. And to do that, we need to enact some short-term things. All right. If you are somebody who does not have medium-term or long-term strategies in place, that are measurable, that you can literally name to me, that you can tell me, excuse me, hang on one second. Excuse me. That you can literally like go, Sky, I'm doing this strategy. It looks like this. These are my targets for it. This is what I'm aiming for each month. We do it across time and space. Here is my quarter. This is what I'm aiming for the 6 months to a year. If you don't have those things in place, again, that is probably the biggest mistake I see in relation to, the longevity and long-term success of a business. All right. So I just want to make that really clear because generally each month, what I teach, as part of my, like I always do events every single month, every month you guys can turn up, right? And normally what I'm teaching is things like 7-figure business modeling and, niche market advantage and all of these different things, that are super helpful, right? But across time and space. Okay. And so if you are only doing short-term strategies like what we're learning today, which are going to be fucking amazing, like absolutely, do the do, right? But if all you're doing is enacting short-term strategies, right? You don't actually just clunk along, you clunk down. All right. You can't just do short-term strategy, because if you are living week to week, or, if you're acting week to week, you're probably living week to week and, you've got no future proofing within your business. If you are trading one-on-one time for money, if you are, if you were removed from your business and you literally wouldn't get paid if you did not continue to show up, we need to have a conversation, all right, about, 7-figure business modeling, healthy business versus unhealthy business, and future proofing. All right. These are like, this is what really, sets the longevity and the success of a business. Again, if you're living week to week, you're probably creating feast and famine in your business. So you have times when you make lots of money and then you fucking crash. All right. Hands up if that's you. Okay. I want to stop that. All right. So again, we need to have a conversation about, the long-term, like substantial, healthy business strategies. And let me tell you, simple business is scalable business. So again, if you have a really convoluted business that is like messy or a bunch of different offers, or if you are in the same financial position now or worse than you were, this time last year, again, we need to have a conversation. All right. Like, because something is happening. You either are clunking along or you're potentially clunking down. If you haven't changed, adapted, grown, implemented differently, taken some actions, and you can see the upward spiral, if this isn't happening, then let's have a diagnostic and figure out what's going on. So that is my little preface for you today, because I do think it's really important for you to understand that these are short-term strategies. They are fucking hot. They are going to, work. They are things I still use myself, but, business intelligence has me doing, business at all 3 levels: short, medium, long, and you've got to do all of them. So what we'll cover today, I'm going to start sweating already. Is it really warm where everybody is? I have the aircon on and it's fucking hot under this hair, let me tell you. Anyway, what we'll cover today, let's just freak out and pretend, no, we did hit record, good. What we'll cover today, we're going to talk a little bit about the problem, what's going on, why so many businesses, don't succeed at this time of year, or, things start to go a little bit wobbly, or even worse, we start to become really reactionary. We're like, oh my God, I don't have any money. Like I need to quickly do something and blah, blah, blah. Because you're probably right. If that's you, cool. We've all been there. But, we need to put something in place so that you're not being reactionary. So you're not just going, oh, fuck, I'm in a famine again, or oh my God, my client numbers have gone down, or everybody is winding up their, their memberships or their whatever at this time of year. Like, it's that kind of a thing. It's like, what is going on, right? Like, what's the problem, that we see, so that we can obviously change, pivot, adapt. All right. We're going to talk about the opportunity, like what is the opportunity that's out there, at this time of year. And I'm going to give you the 3 top solutions. All right. So they're coming at the end, and there's actually a little bit of a bonus one in there as well, but I'm going to give you 3 top solutions that you can literally enact right now. And we're going to help you pick the best one for you to move forward with. All righty. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, that's right. So if you've ever done banking cash, a similar banking cash at Christmas, today is actually adapted. If you've done banking cash at Christmas with me before, today is, there are some interesting new different things in here. If this is your first time, welcome. We normally do something like this each December because I want to help support you guys. What I need to tell you though, everyone breathe, is that the imagery for today is a mixture of random sexual references and Christmas stuff. All right. So I don't know. We just years ago when we first kind of created this, there just seemed to be some sexual references and innuendo and just, to be playful. All right. I think there's a drug reference in there or something like that as well. So I'm just going to forewarn you because not all of our masterclasses are quite like this. All right. But it's important to just give you a little bit of warning. So, let's just play, you guys. Business doesn't have to be, so bloody, I don't know, tightly wound all of the time. So you're welcome for all of this. Oh, good. We have a Christmas reference first. I wasn't sure. So here's the thing. You don't have a money problem right now. You have a resourcefulness one. All right. So if you're sitting there thinking, gosh, like I'm running out of money, or people are winding up their, their memberships or programs, or you're in feast and famine, or, like you're in the same financial position this time, this year as you were last year, right? Or only maybe just ahead or even worse, behind, right? You don't actually have a money problem. You probably have a strategic one, all right? Long-term strategy. That's why it's not building and things like that. But you also have a resourcefulness one. And we're going to talk about the problem and why that is the case. It's Tony Robbins who says there's no lack of resources, only a lack of resourcefulness. And when I first went to UPW, I don't know if anybody else has been to UPW with Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. This was many years ago, maybe 5+ years ago, I think. And I went to Tony Robbins. I was probably, I would say, as broke as I had been in a while, like we had just, like I was probably about 2 years into that iteration of my business. Things were just starting to like clunk along, and it was all getting a little bit stale as well. Can anyone relate to that? Like, your business has gone a little bit stale for some reason. Maybe you're not getting the same amount of engagement as you used to, so people are saying, yeah, exactly. And so sitting there at UPW and hearing Tony say, there is no lack of resources, only a lack of resourcefulness. Sitting there as fucking broke as I had ever been in my, in my business journey. Like, honestly, I don't know if I had any dollars to my name at that time. I really don't think I did. Within the following week or 2 weeks, right? Because trust me, I fucking got resourceful and I took the fucking actions, and I wasn't a victim of circumstance and all of those amazing things, right? And I think I had it was like $43,000, something like that. It was like 40 something thousand dollar, like less than a fortnight that followed UPW, because I took radical self-responsibility for my actions and therefore my results. All right. Because as we said, if you're getting downloads and ideas are floating into your brain, and then you're like, I don't know, maybe I need to think about it for a while, or, let's, make it perfect, or, starting to come up with all the reasons and the excuses why now's maybe not the best time, or I'll just hold off until, or whatever. Like, honestly, you'll be holding off until forever. right? And so we need to put strategy around it. We need to get fucking resourceful. And I say this with so much love, only because, like I'm going to give you a little butt kick, but only because it's part of my own journey too. I had to fucking take radical responsibility, for my actions equaling my results. All right. Because there are no lack of resources. There is shit tons of money out there right now. All right. Shit tons. People have so much money. Like there's no less money within the economy. All right. It's a big lie. And normally if you come to any of my other public facing webinars, we talk about that. We talk about money. We talk about the economy. We talk about, targeting, right? Because there is no lack of money out there. All right. No lack of resource. Only a lack of resourcefulness, only a lack of action taking, only a lack of, like learning the knowledge. It's important. There are going to be some things today that maybe you don't know, right? You haven't heard before. Awesome. So good to have you here, right? And we then need to take the action off the back of today. Here we go. So the problem that we see, it's begun, debauchery downhill. So the problem that we see at this time of year, all right, is that most businesses, and to be honest with you, it's not even a business problem, it's our minds. Our minds start to wind up, right? We're coming into the end of the year, like it's all over, better luck next time, right? Or whoever's said this in their brain or maybe out loud, nobody ever buys in December, or nobody has money, or December's the quietest month of the year. Fuck that. Right? Like, honestly, December, has been one of my busiest months of the year for years and years and years. And not just mine, but many of my clients as well, because we don't do this. We don't prematurely pull out. Right? And so you've got to think, because we're actually, as I said, sorry, I point that way because that's where there's like calendar and stuff, right? So it's like, you've got to think about where you are right now, all right, in your brain. Not just out here, not just in your bank account, but where are you in your brain? Have you already given up on this year? Have you already started to wind things up or wind things down? Do you have a limiting belief in your mind that December is the quietest, month of the year? Here's the thing. And also, let me say one more, who also has a belief or has ever had the belief that, things get quiet through winter. All right. That is like, it's such bullshit, it's such a limiting belief, you guys. And again, I say all that with love. It's not to shame you for ever thinking that. We've all been there, and not just thinking it, but that could absolutely be the thing that's showing up in your reality right now. And again, that doesn't tell us, that's not a money problem. It's a strategic one. All right. It is simply business data. And there are so many coaches out there that absolutely throughout the entire year, like, don't you want like an upward scale? Like, don't you want it to just be like, awesome, January, February, March, I'm going to lock in, like, I don't know, pick a number, $10,000 months, boom, you're right. And then we go next step. Okay, now I've done the 10,000. Let's lock in for, January, February, March, April, May, June. Apparently I don't know the months of the year. April, May, June. We're going to be doing 15. Then, like that's actually how business should go, you guys. Sometimes there's a little bit of a wobble, just a little, we take the data, right? And then we read the data, and then we quickly, act, right? Test, measure, and adapt based on the data that we have. So again, if you have feast and famine within your business, like December is the quietest month of the year, or everybody, wants to sign out through like winter or something like that, it is simply a strategic issue. All right, which means we can solve it, but you've got to be able to understand and take responsibility for the actions pre those times. All right, because what you do in your business right now is going to affect your business over the next 30, 60, 90 days. Okay, so if you aren't preparing for winter, and we could use that metaphorically or literally, right? If you aren't preparing for a winter 3 months out, understanding that what you're doing then is actually going to set you up for a successful winter if your business is seasonal. But let me just say, business doesn't have to be seasonal. It literally doesn't. All right. And I know that breaks the brain, maybe, of some of the people here, because we've been taught something so wrong. And we've gone based on industry standards for some of you, and that does not have to be the case. You can, continue to increase your income because the problems don't go away. Your clients haven't got less problems. The problems are still there, and it's just about targeting the appropriate areas of the marketplace who have the money, who prioritize whatever it is, the kind of coaching it is that you do, and having the strategies in place to be able to call those ideal clients in. All right. So again, bringing it back to now in this time of year, right? Like we're 10 days in, and most of we're 11 days in actually to December at the moment. And, and most businesses are starting to pull out. All right. And that's the problem. But it's also the opportunity. Okay. Most businesses are winding down. They've got their foot off the gas. They're thinking about next year, but just kind of dreaming, not actually strategically thinking about putting a plan in place for next year, to have a successful January, right? You're either leaving it to chance or you're actioning by choice. All right. So again, my clients, we've all been setting up our Januaries like in advance, and even tomorrow, like we have our closing ceremony and a workshop where we'll literally be building out their year. All right. Not by chance, by choice. What is it you want your year to look like so that we can actually, reverse engineer a plan and take the actions that are going to get us there. All right. So it is good to be thinking about next year, but not in that kind of like dreamy, like better luck next time, I'll get started then, or like, there's no opportunity left and that kind of thing. All right. Just simply waiting for this year to be over. The good news in that, as I said, is that there is an opportunity here, because while many others, right, are prematurely pulling out, if you keep your foot on the gas, if you stay in the game, and if you do some of the things that we're talking about today, then your marketplace share potentiality is going to be so much greater. All right. And the reason is because so many other people are bowing out right now. And so there is absolute opportunity for you to, get some amazing humans over the line. So I already said to you that, how important what you do, all right, for 30, 60, 90 days, all right, because what you're doing right now sets you up for the next 30, 60, 90 days, but it works in reverse as well. So whatever you were doing 30, 60, 90 days ago, right, is probably what's showing up in your business right now. So we can often have something called a sales lag, all right? A sales lag or a money lag, okay? And what that means is, as we said before, if you're not setting yourself up, and you should be doing this day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year anyway. But if your brain is being seasonal, if you have a belief that there are, like feasts and famines, up times and down times, again, of course, that's going to be showing up within your business because your consistency is probably a little bit out of whack, and even if you are showing up consistently or consistently enough, like that's probably another conversation. There could be some strategic things we need to be doing to future-proof you so that December isn't the quietest month of the year. So winter doesn't mean, like you're going to be down in funds. Actually, why can't you just simply be up? Why can't it just continue on on an upward curve? And to be honest with you, that is healthy business. Like, isn't that what you want? And so we need to act in a way that is going to bring in that result. So by prematurely pulling out now, okay, and leaving it to chance, hoping that you'll have a busy January, because January can be one of the busier months of the year, totally, right? You're actually going to be having a limper January than is possibly available to you. Okay. Whereas if you set yourself up now, and I'm going to give you strategies to bring in more money right now before Christmas. Okay. Let's just park that. But you also should be setting yourself up now so that January gets to be, the biggest, most amazing thing, possible. And that's not just coming up with a plan, being like, I'm going to run a program, or I'm going to do a bit of a launch, or I'm going to offer this offer or something like that. It's like, how do we keep your marketplace and audience warm, like with ready to buy clients, so that when you do put your offer out there come January, like you have people who are there already like, shut up and take my money. All right. And not just the usual 5 clients that would say yes to, anything that you do, but I'm talking like new, right? New, qualified, ready to buy clients. Who wants some new, qualified, ready to buy clients? Right? Who's ever struggled to find new quality, ready to buy clients? Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's really important too that we're playing, like the December game, as well as thinking already into, early next year. I'm just gonna look at something for 1 second. Awesome. Okay. Beep. So the opportunity, these 3 things, all right? And this is what we're going to unpack today. I want you to finish the year off strong. All right, I'm going to give you the strategies, the solutions to do that. I want you to crush it with the clients that you already have. And I'm going to give you a strategy around that that's very simple. Okay. And then I want you to beat the rush of the kind of new year, new you sort of mentality, and see if there are obviously some things that we can do, as I was just talking about, to lock in quality, ready to buy clients either now and, early into the new year. So this is a client of mine. This is Zoe. Zoe's strategy was all wrong, excuse me. She didn't have long-term strategy, right? It was very clunking along year to year. It was like, lots of one-on-one clients, so a lot of time for money. She'd then have feast and famine, because she would be like, okay, fuck, I'm in famine, I need to run an 8-week program. So then she'd kind of reactionary put something together and then get it out there. Probably wouldn't run her launches long enough, or didn't have a properly set out strategic launch lead in to get people hot and ready to sign up to her program. She'd then run her program, which would be an influx of money. And then, as the program sort of started to peter off, she'd be back into, famine again. And so her year would clunk along like that. There's a piece of hair attached to me. So her year would clunk along, right? So we did a big diagnostic on her business, and we implemented, again, 7-figure business modeling, something else that I teach, and signature programs and things like that. And within 7 months, she'd made $300,000 and retired her partner. So the timeline for that was, we started working together in May, and by December, it's $300,000 and has retired her partner, right? Like that is the opportunity that's like available to you. So what are some of the short-term solutions that we can enact right now? The idea is that you want to manufacture crack. Alrighty? Like you literally want to, like, how can you have cats to catnip, at this time of year? Okay. And how we do that is we need to enter the conversation that your most ideal client is having right now, okay? What is the conversation that they are having in their head? What are they laying awake at night thinking at this time of year specifically? Because you shouldn't, like, there's a balance, right? I want you to, like, little hot extra tip here. I want you to both, like, you need to be really key in your messaging and messaging on very particular things, right? Like what I message on is high ticket offers, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that later. So high ticket offers, 7-figure business modeling, healthy business, all these different things. There are particular branding pillars that if you check anything that we put out there, it generally comes under one of those brackets. So we're constantly ramming home the same message. But in saying that, we also, adapt to whatever is happening within the marketplace and the ecosystem as well, So our messaging in December, even though we're talking about those same key things, is going to be different to our messaging in January. All right. We have to enter the conversation that our ideal client is having in their head right now. okay, and in January, you know, and any times throughout the year, okay? So I don't want you to think too long term. Let's just land in this time frame. What is it that your ideal client is thinking right now? Now, let me say one more thing in relation to this. You're getting all the juice today, you guys. If you are a generalist, we need to probably change that. All right. There is an amazing saying that is, you know, one offer, one message, $1 million. One offer, one message, $1 million. Okay. So what that means is one offer. Like, what is, you know, your key 7-figure money making, you know, strategy? If you don't have one, let's talk. All right. You know, like what is that one offer? You know, who is the one person that offer is for? One niche, very specifically. Now, you know, yeah. And then one message means you're going to speak to them very directly. Okay. And that is going to equal $1 million. Okay. If you are trying to be everything to everybody, you know, like taking on board any man, woman, and child, you know, with a heartbeat and a wallet, solving all of the world's problems. Okay. Again, there's another marketing saying that is literally, you know, speak to many people and no one hears you. Speak to one person and many hear you. Okay, so you need to speak very directly to that person as if you were in their fucking brain. And you can't do that if your clients are women and men, you know, age 20 to 65, right? Because the way you would speak to a 20-year-old is very different to how you'd speak to a 65-year-old. The problems that are going on in the brain of a 20-year-old are very different to the problems going on, you know, in the brain of a 65-year-old. All right. So just in case you don't know, Vaughn is saying avocado in the chat box. That means calm down, Sky, because I get very fired up. And if I get very fired up, I lose my voice by the end of today. All right. So if I'm like getting really passionate about all of the things, you're allowed to send avocado in the chat box. Bringing it down, let's talk. All right. So, you know, you've got to land with the conversation that is happening in their brains right now. And you need to know who specifically that person is. All right. You need to understand and tap into their hopes and dreams, their fears and frustrations, their wants and aspirations, the pains and pleasure, right? And the thing that they are staring awake at night, staring at the roof thinking, you know, like, and I'm just going to use an example, like nobody is staring awake, you know, staring at the roof, awake at night thinking, gosh, I wish I just had another meal plan. You know, like that's not the conversation that they're having with themselves. They're staring awake, you know, staring at the room awake at night, thinking, you know, like, I don't know, like, why am I so disgusting? Why am I a failure? You know, like, you know, worthiness, enough, belonging, like money, like all of these things. Like, what is the juicy thing that they are actually laying awake at night thinking about? Okay. Because you want to solve the problem at that level. All right. And the better and more specific you can get at solving people's problems, you know, at the level that they're having them, right? The more you're actually able to charge, because you're not charging based on your worthiness. You're charging based on the level of problem that you're able to solve for someone, you know? And so it's so important that, again, at this time of year, you know, we're literally thinking, okay, who is my one client? Right? What is the one problem or offer that, you know, like that I am the solution for? And how can I very specifically message to that particular thing, you know, to call more of that specific person in? All right. One offer, one message, $1 million. So I'm going to give you some solutions now. All righty. So I often, I say so a lot. I often teach this masterclass a little bit earlier in the year, or a little bit earlier in the month, excuse me, not the year. That would make no sense. A little bit earlier in the month. Here we are. So I added extra strategies. You know, normally we talk about this, a workshop or a masterclass or a challenge strategy, giving you the opportunity to, again, really get in front of your most ideal clients. There is still opportunity for you to do this strategy. But what I would suggest is that if you are not used to running and launch leading to some kind of masterclass, or, you know, a 3-day challenge or that kind of thing, then out of the three main strategies for bringing in external clients, All right. For the 3 main strategies to bringing external clients, unless you're used to doing this kind of thing, I would not maybe do this one. All right. You're welcome to take a photo anyway for future reference, right? So what you would do, or what you might do if you are used to this, is create some kind of masterclass based on this particular tagline. So you would give it a sexy name, and then you would be like, how to promised land without ever pain point, even if you've never pain point. So how to, yay, right? Whatever their like highly desired outcome is, without ever boo, something bad, even if you've never womp womp before. Okay, so what could that look like? How to bank more cash at Christmas without ever having to charge more, even if you've never run a Christmas promotion before. All right. So, and I mean, that one's pretty bland. We could definitely do better. And I'm more than happy to help you with this if you need help with it. All right. So you want to pick things like, what is it that your clients are thinking? How to lose weight, right? How to lose weight, or how to lose X kilos of weight at Christmas without ever having to do a harsh crash diet, even if you've never, exercised before. All right. We can get it even better than that, but it's the idea is that you need to understand your client at such a deep level. As I said, their hopes and dreams, right? Their pains and frustrations, the things that they are laying awake at night thinking, staring at the roof. And the stronger that we can get that messaging, the better. All right. So how to promise land without ever pain point, even if you've never pain pointed before. This is not the heading of a workshop or a masterclass. This is the tagline to it that explains, what it is that you're doing with people. Okay. So this is one strategy you can absolutely run. The reason that you would run this strategy is, you want to have, right now, you would only be able to get about a 7-day launch lead in, 7, 8, 9. You could probably get a 9-day launch lead in, run a masterclass next Wednesday, start marketing to it based on today, get a bunch of clients in there, offer a bunch of calls off the back of it, whatever it is that you need to do, right? To help support, bringing people on board and getting you in front of more of your ideal clients. That's why it has to be like fucking sexy, hot. All right. Because, again, it's got to speak to the hearts and mind of what is going on for your most ideal clients right now. All right. So this is client Beck. She had a limiting belief. She had many limiting beliefs around herself. Most of our sessions, she would probably cry because she was in so much fear of putting herself out there, so much fear of judgment, so much fear of worthiness and not enoughism, so many thoughts around, oh my gosh, I just can't charge that, or my clients won't pay that. And to be honest with you, she went from what we call a mass numbers model. Literally, she worked for a very famous mums brand that probably charges something like $12 a month or something along those lines, to her being able to charge $150 per week to her clients. So she went from one extreme, and then up the scale, right? We implemented a signature program with her. Implemented masterclass strategy, much like that, workshop, masterclass, challenge strategy to help her bring in ideal clients every single month. In under 6 weeks of us working together, she'd made $124,000, right, in sales, $124,000. Okay. And she literally went from, and I'm not even kidding with this, she literally went from making about $70 a week, right, to $124,000 in under 6 weeks. Okay. This stuff works. All right. This is why we teach it. So strategy number 2, this one, I highly recommend you use. Everybody take a photo. Right. We actually have just, Tracy and I have been chatting, you guys, if I'm talking to you in Messenger, like, honestly, just like, I am so giving, like, in terms of, my time and my energy. Like, Tracy already has this particular strategy going out today because she dared to have a conversation with me, because she dared to, we were talking about even 7-figure business modeling. So I gave her a masterclass, which she then devoured in, 24 hours, right? And so we're able to have literally already be enacting this particular strategy today, you know, and hopefully calling in a whole bunch of clients for her. And we work together to make it really specific, because sometimes it just takes a minute for us to bounce backwards and forwards, right? To nail the messaging that we want, so that again it speaks really directly to you know, meeting your clients at the challenges and problems and the solutions that they want and are having right now. Okay, so this is called the hand raiser strategy. I'm literally giving this to you. You know, we give this to our clients. They, you know, use it on and off all the time. You can't use it all the time. All right. And the key to understand with the hand raiser strategy is that it is either hit or miss. Okay, so even if you were to use it right now and it somehow didn't work, you could use it in January and it would fucking nail it. Like, it would just, you know, be like manufacturing crack. All right. So what you don't want to do is change the wording here so much that it steps it away from all of the strategic and behavioral science. Like there's neuro-linguistic programming and different things written into this. All right. You don't want to step it so far away from that it doesn't sound like the hand raiser at all. This is the money shot. All right. This is where it all happens. Okay. So you write something like, I'm looking to help a small group of, who is your niche? Be specific. Women is not a niche. All right. Women 20 to 65 is not a niche. Okay. You've got to pick like a particular kind of problem or way to, you know, resonate like with someone. So with Tracy, I hope I can say this, we said divorced women or kind of newly divorced women, but divorced women. That is fucking specific. That is somebody who has just gone through a thing. And the idea is to call in more of, you know, the most ideal client, and also to repel others. And by doing that, not being the generalist or the GP, but actually being the specialist, you become known as the go-to expert in a particular thing. All right. And you're actually going to call in more clients by doing that, not less. Okay. So I'm looking to help a small group of, insert your specific niche in the most specific way you can possibly do it, over X number of days. You don't even have to necessarily put the days there or for free, you know, but we can come up with some kind of a thing in there. You could just have it go straight to a call where you support them in an amazing way, but also a strategic way that lends to you being able to potentially make a sale, right? And then with there, list what it is that they want. All right. Like, are they like, so again, Tracy, I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you. I'm going to use yours as an example because we were literally just working on it this morning. So we said for Tracy, we were like, you know, I'm looking to help a small group of divorced women for free over, you know, X number of days with, you know, any resentment, anger, and fear coming up around Christmas, so that, you know, you can live, like, to help you, and so that you can live a life of emotional freedom, you know, happiness and joy again, or love again. No catch, passion required. All right. So you can hear how specific that is. So you want to, again, it's like pain point, promised land. Take them from the pain point to the promised land. So we want to help this specific niche, all right, to do this specific thing, step away from these pain points. This is why you've got to know what is it that they're laying awake at night thinking, you know, and step into promised land. All right. And say it in words that they would understand. You can't use your own languaging or your modalities, you know, professional industry, you know, stuff. You want to speak to, you know, the feelings, the benefits, the you know, the pains, the desires, the dreams, the outcomes, you know, this kind of stuff. All right. So as I said, I know that sounded kind of complicated. It's really not. It's basically take a photo of this, type it out, insert your niche, you know, like insert their pain point, insert their promised land, you know, and you put it on like a Facebook colored background. If it doesn't fit on a Facebook colored background, you need to shrink the post. It needs to be no bigger than this. All right. So we shrink the post, post it from your phone. You get more words that way than if you do it from your computer. And Facebook will also prioritize it because you're utilizing a Facebook feature, which is the colored backgrounds. Okay, so the algorithms are going to show it to more people. All right. And people are going to raise their hands underneath. And then you get to start a conversation with them, chat sequence them, strategically qualify them in the chats, and then line up, some kind of call or something like that with them off the back of it, where you're then able to, support and, sell to them. All right. We've had clients do this. We've had everything from, about 40 plus comments. We've had 70, we've had over 100, and we even recently with a one-on-one client of mine who is a book coach had over 200 responses to this message. All right. It's one fucking post that rules them all. So if you have lead gen, as a bit of a challenge, or lead volume, all right, we can tweak this, make it really fucking juicy for you, give you the capacity or ability to get it out there. And, we get it into a few spots. Right. And the amazing thing is that Facebook is really forgiving. If you put it out there today, and again, it's sort of like, maybe it lands, maybe it doesn't. We can tweak it a little bit, get it out there on Wednesday again, put it into a couple of other community groups, and like where your most ideal client is hanging out. We call those honey holes, and, away we go. All right. So this is a really, really great strategy to use. And as I said, it's a short-term strategy. So this is not good. This is not good long-term business. This is a hand raiser to get people to act now. All right. So this is client Dana. I was just partially talking about her. So when we started working together, she had a bit of a time organization structure, problem. She's being very reactionary and kind of winging it in business. And she also didn't have an audience of her ideal clients. Her ideal clients she's a hair salon business coach, right? So she coaches like salon owners. And so she actually didn't even have that audience. All right. We implemented 7-figure business strategy for her. And we also utilized the hand raiser post. She is the one that got over 70 responses within a community group, so much so that they decided she was a scam and they shut her post down. All right. So we always say, make sure as you're getting responses, like especially if you're posting in somebody else's community group in front of an audience, take photos as all the different names, like every 10 names that pop up, please take photos of them just in case your post gets shut down in somebody else's community. Off the back of that single post, we had only been working together weeks. Like I'm not even sure we were working together a month. And we put this hand raiser post out there. And within that fortnight, what was it? $46,000? Yeah, $46,000. Right. It was a $46,000 fortnight. And she finished off that month above 50K. All right. One post. All right. And, yes, some strategy off the back of it and all the rest of it, but it was that one single post in the right places, said in the right way, being strategic, tweaking it and whatever, that got her that traction and obviously therefore got her the result. All right. So strategy number 3. All right. And I'm actually giving you kind of strategy number 3, strategy number 4. So something else that we do at this time of year is that we'll often run what we call a scholarship offer. All right. Generally in line with, somebody's just saying that's epic. Whoop, whoop. Generally in line with my birthday. All right. So every year, like probably about twice a year, I'll run a scholarship strategy where we'll give away anywhere from maybe 1, 2, or 3 scholarships in some way. Yes, I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to come back to the strategy, the scholarship strategy. Jody is asking, so we give them the X amount of days for free and then try to sell them and sell off the back of them, offering to be part for free. Okay, so really great question. And yeah, that absolutely brings the specificity to the previous strategy. This one. Okay. So hand raiser strategy. Great question. What you're thinking for free means and what I think for free means is probably two slightly different things. And the reason is we have quite a few fitness professionals here on this thing today, this masterclass today, right? So hot tip, you guys, because I know that there are other people who are not fitness people who will be watching this back and who are also here, who are building out beautiful emotional freedom programs, business programs, all the different things. This works across any coaching industry, all right? The challenge with fitness industry is that we're so fucking damaged. We are so fucking damaged. We trade one-on-one time for money for fucking pennies, right? We feel bad signing people up for extended periods of time. We think our business is seasonal. We live feast and famine. There is so much wrong with the business model, right, of fitness. But there are amazing things that we can do to tweak that to give you better long-term like freedom and lifestyle and scalability and dollars and longevity, and people are saying 100% fucked, right? And so again, like hence why there's quite a few of you here, because this time of year gets a little bit fucking hairy, doesn't it? You know, because we're living on memberships and those memberships start to get rounded up. Okay. So let me talk specifically fitness people, but this will also answer the question for all kinds of coaches anyway. All right. Fitness people, you're going to think I mean like giving them 2 weeks for free, like come and exercise for 2 weeks for free or something like that. That's not what I mean. I mean like running a 3-day challenge, but I also don't mean what we think in fitness is a challenge. I mean like an information challenge, like dedicated to some kind of a result to give them some short-term wins, right? Within that 3 days, you know, and yes, have a one-on-one off the back of that, you know, that then obviously supports, you know, a sales process or something along those lines. The amazing thing right now at this time of year is you don't have to even do the 3 days. So Tracy, you don't even have to do the 5 days. We've already planned it that way. You can do it that way. That's fine. There's still time, you know, and we can speak about that strategy a little bit more, right? But because you can actually put this hand raiser out there saying, I'm looking to help a small group of niche, you know, with there. You can skip that whole bit, right? And I promise you, you will still get people raising their hands. Or you could say something like, I'm looking to help a small group of niche, you know, like now at Christmas with their label all the things, because the whole idea is this is going to be crack anyway. They are absolutely going to raise their hands because you have spoken like to their pain points and their desires, you know, not, you know, given something for free. Like value, you guys, value is not how many things can I throw in. Value is not how many more things can I throw in the kitchen sink, what can I give them, more time, more this, more all the different things. Value is reducing is increasing the perceived likelihood of them achieving their goals while reducing the time, energy, and effort it's going to take for them to get there. So we can say, I'm looking to help a small group of divorced women, you know, right now to release any resentment, anger, and frustration and fear, you know, over Christmas. To step into more freedom, love, joy, you know, no catch, passion, and dedication required. All right. You don't have to give away anything for free or free time. Sometimes it's just nice to attach this to a little bit of a challenge, or you can, you know, a 3-day challenge, something like that. Or, you know, but the implication of this is you then go and have a chat sequence with them and then you get them on the phone. You know, you can also use, you know, there are particular kinds of calls that obviously then support them with the thing you've promised them and also lead to being able to make an offer. Because if you've solved the problem for these people, the likelihood of them being able to turn around and be like, oh my God, like what is it that you do and what do you have to offer and like that kind of thing, right? So it's part of a complete process. This hand raiser solves a lead volume problem. If you need leads right now so that you can convert more people previous to Christmas, right, then this is going to do it. Okay. So you don't have to give any time away for free. It literally can just be, you know, like chat sequencing them and then jumping on a call with them, you know, helping, supporting, and making an offer off the back of that. Alrighty, does that make sense, everyone? So again, you know, in fitness, we think I have to give them a, you know, a 10 class pass or a 2 weeks for free. Come and try the gym or something like that. It's not that, you know, you want to speak because remember, I need more exercise or I need like a meal plan or something like that, or 2 weeks for free at the gym isn't what they're laying awake at night thinking. What they're laying awake at night thinking is I'm such a failure. I'm not enough. I have to go and see my family and I'm a fucking fat shit again, you know, and how embarrassed I put on weight this year, you know, and like I'm not coming with my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. We broke up, you know, it's all of those. Like this is actually what they are laying awake at night, staring at the roof thinking. Okay. And obviously each person's niche is going to be different, but I'm just trying to use an example. So we're like, oh yeah, fuck, we're not talking to the surface-based stuff, right? Because the industries, the coaching industry is flooded with beige bitches, right? I say that with love. It's just a saying we use, you know, like that beige, it's like we're speaking too much to the surface level things and we're solving the problems at such a surface-based level, which also creates a sales problem because people are like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I might think about it. Or does this offer last into next year? Like maybe I'll sign up in January. I think that'll work well. Or I'm just going to go talk to my partner about it. It means we haven't solved the problem at literally a fucking neurological level. Because if we had, then they would just literally be like, fucking shut up and take my money. Like I've never had somebody understand me so fucking much before. You know, and that's the level we want to be solving the problem at so that we can cut through, you know, the noise of everybody else who's out there right now, either rounding things up or being fucking basic as fuck. All right. Does that make more sense? So again, it's not about giving away extended periods of time for free. December, get the rest of December for free. It's not that. All right. It's actually, and again, you don't have to do anything for free. You can literally use this hand raiser without any days for free as a lead volume solution to get people into conversation because conversations equal conversions. All right. Conversations equal conversions. The next most logical step. I put a post up, people raise their hands. I have a chat to them, you know, like in Messenger or something like that. We line up a call to help them and you become part of the solution. All righty. And to be honest with you, you can then tie in something like this if you like as well. All right. A scholarship strategy where, you know, it's like sweetening the deal for them. All right. It's got to be within integrity, you know, but if there's something, remember, value equals increased perceived likelihood of them achieving their goals while decreasing the time, energy, and effort that is going to take them to get there. So you could do the hand raiser. The hand raiser could go to a chat. The chat could go to a call. And on the call, if it is within integrity and you come up with a super hot, juicy deal, if you need help with that, come talk to us, right? You then run a scholarship strategy off the back of it. Okay. Where, you know, maybe you give people, I don't know, like, you can reduce the dollars, obviously. We do that, but my business is in a position where we're lucky enough to be able to give back. And so if we offer people scholarships, you know, utilizing an amount of discount, I'm not saying you have to. I definitely am not saying that. I don't want you discounting your prices or devaluing your service in any way. You know, again, we have wiggle room built into my business, you know, and I genuinely want to give back. So we want to help people that want to help themselves that are maybe not in a full financial position to be able to do so. And so we will subsidize an amount, you know, so that we can get them the help that they need now. But the difference is for us, they have to raise their fucking hand. They, you know, they need to show up and show us that they fucking mean business and they genuinely want the help. And from that energetic space, you know, then we're like, as I said, around my birthday, I will always put the call out there, you know, and we see who's listening and we see who has chats with us and who shows up on calls and who does the things. And if they are, you know, like, again, within integrity, we believe that we can absolutely help them. You know, we generally offer like somewhere between 1, 2, or 3 scholarships at that time of year, you know, and sometimes we do 1 scholarship at another point in time. But a scholarship offer is another offer. Again, you can market to it. So you could say, you know, I'm giving back for Christmas, you know, and I'm offering, you know, 3 scholarships for people, you know, who XYZ. And the potential for you to get a bunch of hand raisers is, you know, like is quite a lot. All right. Now, so that for the record, let me give an example. We ran the scholarship offer. That's why I wanted to jump in here and actually add this. I don't normally teach you guys this at Christmas time. We had a $64,000 week. All right. Because we did the right strategy at the right time, in the right way, in front of the right audience, you know, and we were able to give back quite a lot. So that, you know, to be honest with you, could have been what's double that, 128,000, right? $128,000 week, you know, but because we did scholarships and we did genuinely do a bunch of offers and things like that, because that's what we do, you know, it was a $64,000 week. I'm not going to complain, right? Like, so you think about your business and how you can potentially enact these strategies. How can you add value as well, which is increase the perceived likelihood of somebody achieving their goal while decreasing the time, energy, and effort that it's going to take for them to get there, you know, and bundle it in a way that, you know, is like cats to catnip. All right. And I promise you, you know, you could run a scholarship strategy this week. You will have a bunch of, you know, chats and calls and things like that. The other amazing thing, again, we do it within Integrity, like where we genuinely offer, you know, these scholarships, and I want you to do that too. The other amazing thing though about scholarships is that often it has people wanting to apply to work with you. All right. So the energy exchange is the other way. Who's ever felt like they've been in convince energy in their business where you're almost having to like fucking bend an arm and a leg and you know, all the different things to get people to sign up, and you're like, you're convincing them, and you're, you know, and you're sort of going, oh, look, them, you know, it's not really that expensive. It's only the amount of like 2 extra coffees a week or something like that. Who's ever been in convince energy within their business before? Right? Like it feels a bit yuck, because you feel as if you're trying to constantly hard sell, you know, and it just probably means that there's something strategically misaligned within your sales process right now, you know, that we can literally clean up so that you don't have to fucking hard convince people to get them over the line, or that they have to think about it, or they're just not sure if they've got the money right now and things like that. If you're getting any of these objections, it means we're not pre-handling a whole bunch of stuff, you know, so that by the time you actually get to the sales portion, they are, excuse my language, gagging to, you know what it is that you're offering and how they can sign up. Okay. Pre-qualifying them, quality leads, you know, that almost want to convince you of why, you know, like you want to, you know, bring them on board. Okay. And so sometimes scholarship strategy, if you've been having to really hard sell a lot of people, or if your sales process has been feeling really clunky, having a scholarship strategy and utilizing it, you know, now at this time of year as a give back gift in one way, shape, or form. Again, you don't necessarily have to discount. We would want to craft it in a way that feels really good and aligned for you. You know, is a really nice way to change the frequency and the energy. All right. Because you're giving back and they want to be able to come and, you know, potentially have the opportunity to receive, you know, a gifted scholarship, whatever that looks like. It's rare that I will do one entirely free. Sometimes we will do one a year where we give away like a full scholarship for free. The reason is that I believe that people need to have balls in the game. All right. So please let me make it clear that I do not expect you to be giving away, you know, an entire year of your services or something like that for free. Again, we do that. We genuinely do that. Or we'll give away a 3-month block or something along those lines. You know, but I want you to have more consistency and more stability, less feast and famine, more understanding of these strategies and how to enact them first. So then you get greater freedom of choice where you can actually give out of, you know, giving's sake. All right. Because that feels beautiful, you know. So that's a scholarship strategy. Does that make sense to everyone? Now you can use the hand raiser. Off the back of the hand raiser, chat sequence someone, and you know, and you could even write into the hand raiser. We could say scholarship in that, you know. And then off the back of it, jump on the phone with people and, but if it feels within integrity, you offer them a scholarship. Does that make sense, everyone? Because I want you to have a complete process. And so technically you can connect solution number 2, which is our hand raiser, to solution number 3, a scholarship, right? Offer off the back of it, and that is more of a complete strategy because it gives you a bit more of a start to stop sales process, right? Yes, makes sense. Awesome. Where you're going to be able to potentially get some people signed up. Any questions? I will touch on case study just a little bit in a second. Okay. So if scholarship is us changing the energy where people then want to apply with us, right? And we're helping them, and we're gifting, or it's more of a favor or that kind of a thing, right? Which is true, all right, of a scholarship offer. A case study is the opposite. A case study is people raising their hands to help us, okay? There is an amazing thing that happens in the brain. If somebody walks up to you and says, hey, I really need your help, right? Then people are like, yeah, tell me, what is it? All right. It genuinely switches on a part of our brain. And so if you are looking at potentially kicking off a new program, marketing it within January or something like that, and it's your first time, you could do a scholarship now. You could do a case study, or call it say the words case study in the beginning of next year. Do not call it a beta program. A beta program sounds less than, come and do my less than shit half thought about program, that I've half-assed and I'm kind of just trying to clunk my way through, who wants to join? All right. So don't call it a beta program, call it a case study. Say that you are running a case study program, and you'd really love some help from your niche who have the problem of X and want the solution of Y, and if you market utilizing that framework, again, the potential for you to have more people raise their hands, and you could write in, again, you don't necessarily have to discount it. You don't have to discount it. Nobody said just because we said case study, it has to be discounted. And in fact, I think you should continue to charge your worth, whatever it is that you believe this, this program that maybe you're launching within January, charge what you want to charge for it. Right? It's not that. It's just the energetics of our messaging, so that more potential ideal clientele raise their hand and want to come and be a part of this, and support you, while you also obviously within integrity support them. Does that make sense, everyone? So there is a difference between a scholarship and a case study. And to be honest with you, the biggest difference is that the energy exchange, or the energetics of it, is the opposite. Scholarship, I'm helping you, and people then want to apply. Case study, can you please help me? And yeah, it's a really great way to also be able to get a bunch of testimonials off the back of it, still charge whatever you were going to charge for it, and be able to run a bunch of people, through your signature program. And then the idea would be into next year, you would want that signature program to go evergreen, which means people can join at any time. Because if you were running an 8-week program, and you run it 4 times a year, or maybe you want to start running a program, but you haven't run the program yet, or maybe you've run it once and then, things start to get shit. And so you think, fuck, it's winter was crap and now I'm going to run it in spring, and then feast and famine and inconsistent, actually, womp, womp, womp. You're going to end up the only words that come to mind is running your business into the ground. And I don't want that for you. All right. So if we want a really healthy business that builds up across time and space, we want to be able to create things that are evergreen, people to be able to join anytime. Then we can go and run strategies like workshop strategies or events or different things like that, where people can come and join and, and we're actually playing long-term business. Okay. As I said, tomorrow, I already have, where is it? It's on the ground here. Oh, wait. Next year, mapped out, right? Next year mapped out. Like that is the level of, plan. Like yes, there's going to be some wiggle room, but if you want a successful business that builds up over time, that does not have feast and famine, that, is not seasonal, that understands good strategic short-term, medium-term, and long-term, policy, right? Then, like, again, if you need some help, reach out. Like, I can't stress that more than I already have. So that's scholarship and that's case study. Cool. So this is client Claire. Claire joined only, gosh, maybe a month or two ago, not even 2 months ago now. She's still in another coaching container. All right. So she's in that other coaching container until like March or something like that. Her comment to me a few weeks ago was literally, I've learned more in this 2 weeks of working with you than I have in the entire program, like of working with somebody else. All right, in the entire year that she's already worked with them. Okay, so we pivoted her business ever so slightly to make her feel more lit up and to really follow her greatest excitement, because we're true believers in that. If it's not joy, fun, play, pleasure, passion, it's not for you. All right, we got our fishing rods in the water. So things like this, these are what we call fishing rods in our parts. So short-term, long-term, medium-term strategies for lead generation, for a start to stop sales system. How are we calling in clients? We did all of those things very quickly within 2 weeks. Within that 2 weeks, and now after the fact, she had her largest month in business ever. Right. And we literally at that point in time had been working together 2 weeks. And then, as I said, within the 2 weeks that followed, and now we've been working together, not quite 2 months yet. And literally last month was her biggest month she's ever had in business. All right. And again, she, when no premature pullouts, right? So not only have we been setting up January to be like amazing, because what you do 30, 60, 90 days out, even from January, is going to affect that time period. But also, we've been setting her up like to have an amazing December as well. All righty. So we've got 2 more things. Is everybody good? Have we lost you? We've got 2 more things to talk about. All right. I have to run, no worries. I'll watch the remainder, no worries. I'll get you the replay, all good. Because there's 2 big things we're still going to talk about that'll make all the difference for banking more cash at Christmas right now. So you've got your hand raiser and you've got your hand raiser that's going to lead into some form of scholarship offer or something like that. All right. So what do we do with clients? So low ticket mentality, okay, is like you can't sell high ticket, or you can't sell healthy business from an unhealthy place. All right. Like if you were in feast or famine, if you were in scarcity, if you were hustling for low dollar clients all the time, then that's going to be showing up in your business ecosystem. And I'm sure, again, you could probably think of some symptoms that are already happening. Okay. So we want to start thinking, as we said, a little bit more strategically. What does that look like? How does that feel? Where does that lend us to? All the different things. So yes, bringing in new amazing clients is absolutely, paramount. Like there's a hierarchy in business. Life force energy number 1, you need to look after you. The second thing is client acquisition. New blood is the lifeblood of a business. New blood is the lifeblood of a business. So if you aren't signing, 1, 2 new clients every single week, right, then we need to have a conversation, because new blood is the lifeblood of your business. You need to be, signing people into, and I'm not talking low dollar clients. We're talking, a decent, penny. All right. Every single week. That's how we're going to grow your business and what we call monthly reoccurring revenue across time and space. All right. So on top of number 1, life force energy. Number 2, client acquisition, which we just learned about. We're going to enact a few short-term strategies. Number 3 is client promises. So you can, at this time of year, get your existing clients to recommit in some kind of way. All right. You want them to recommit to themselves. All right. Because again, we're coaches. So therefore, they're working with us in relation to one of the core areas of their life. Okay, that could be health, So health, fitness, nutrition, emotional health, things like that. That could be relationships, relationship with themselves, body love. It could be relationship with their partner. It could be family dynamics and things like that. Or it could be career, money, wealth, business, all of those sorts of things. They are the three main big areas that we have, within coaching, and every single one of us within our coaching business comes under one of those categories. All right. So again, you can utilize this time to get your existing clients to recommit to themselves in some way. You could offer them some kind of like upgrade. So you could get them to recommit at a higher dollar value as well. Wouldn't that be awesome? You want them to recommit to their goals. So something really nice, we had all our clients do this last year, was literally line up 30-minute recommitment ceremony / phone calls with all of their existing clients. All righty. And basically take them through a framework like this, getting their clients to reflect on the year that they've had, what's worked, really well, what's not worked, what are they still feeling stuck on, what are they struggling with, get them to recommit, to see the gap. I've got a lot of, things and all the rest of it. Like, again, I'm going to use an easy example because health is a really easy example. So myself, I've lost over 15 kilos this year, right? I put fucking 15 kilos plus on, I needed to lose it. So thank God, right? And it's taken me all year to do that, so my commitment to my goals, I'm not done yet. Okay. So being able to land with your clients, even if they're celebrating, like I could sit here now and be like, amazing. I've had such a great year. I've lost 15 kilos. Christmas is coming up. I've worked so hard. I deserve that. Fuck no. My goals aren't finishing just because Christmas is coming up. I'm having Christmas. I'll be doing that one day, and anything, any side of that. Like my goal is so fucking like laser focused that, like nothing stands in my way of that. All righty. And so getting your clients, whatever, it could be an emotional thing, it could be a relationship thing, it could be a business thing, having those one-on-ones, getting them to recommit to themselves, spread the gap, make them see what's been really amazing from the year, what is still feeling clunky, where are they, do they still need some work, recommit to that new gap and that new goal. Get them to dream. Well, what do you want out of, 2024? Get them to paint the picture for you. All right. And then you can potentially offer something off the back, some kind of upgrade that's going to help support them, or lock them into their goal and their commitment to themselves and you and the business and what you're running and how you're supporting them into, 2024. So we did this with our one-on-one clients. So these are clients that I work very, key and specific. And again, we pre-sold them into packages. So they are all locked in. I already know, that there are thousands upon thousands of extra dollars coming in, from January, and those contracts are 4-month contracts, right? So I know that those dollars that will start to land in January, because I recommitted, all of my one-on-one clients, now we have, what would it be? I don't know. Let me think. 2000. I actually didn't do the maths on it. It'd probably be like a guaranteed extra 30K or something like that. No, it'd be 40K. It'd be above 40K that we locked in just by doing this with, 3 or 4 clients. Right. And yes, I understand that my pricing is maybe a little bit different to yours, but wherever you are at, the pricing is irrelevant. All right. What is actually important is that, you're able to, to step up, to do these actions, to not have a fucking flaccid January, January already. We haven't even done our January. Like we've done our January stuff. We know what's happening in January. We haven't promoted it yet. We haven't sold anybody for, what we're promoting in January. We already know January is going to be like one of our biggest Januaries yet. And that's just based on the dollars that we have locked in, pre-locked in at this time of year. All right. And we haven't even started January yet, but we already have pre-locked in across time and space. So you can do that too, wherever you're at, and let's face it, if you're here, you probably need to raise your prices. You already know that in some way. Maybe you don't know how to do it, without just trying to throw in the kitchen sink and, that kind of stuff. Again, we can help with that if you need some support with your worthiness, with crafting irresistible offers and things. But this is just a really beautiful way to either upgrade some clients or pre-sell them, getting them to recommit to the year ahead. All right. And you would want it time bound. So you're not just, if they're on roll on membership month to month, week to week, something like that anyway, the whole idea is obviously to get them to recommit for a time frame, with an irresistible offer that makes sense, and get them pre-sold and signed in. You need to lock those contracts in now. So it's not this wishful thing where, like we've shaken hands as buddies because, like I'm nice and I don't want to charge my worth and I like you and I know that you're a good human. And so it's like, this is business. All right. So you want to get people pre-locked into contracts now, right? Like for the beginning of the year and stuff like that. So the dollars that you already have to play with, and we haven't even hit January yet. Does this make sense, everyone? So think about some kind of recommitment you can do with existing clients or perhaps some kind of upgrade that you could offer as well, that again will have them locked into a greater level of service. So Vaan, VIP, your VIP membership, right? Like, again, is there a way that we can get people to recommit? Is there anyone that we can upgrade and sell into your VIP membership because it already exists, and pre-sell them, into and get them to sign those contracts now, ready to kick off a fuck yes January with them, and and how can we sweeten that deal? All right. So it's that kind of a thing. So we've got new blood is the lifeblood of our business. How do we call in, more amazing clients now to bank more cash at Christmas? We've also got, client promises. How can we upgrade the existing clients that we have and get them to recommit and potentially even get more dollars on the table, even if you need to wait till January, but you get those contracts signed now. All right. And the last little piece to the puzzle that I want to put out here is this, all right? I want you to have a bit of a 21-day content plan right now. You want to increase the touch points, all right? So that people, again, are more likely to buy in January. If you start to go limp now, okay, where the marketplace, this is what's happening in the marketplace. Let the rest of the marketplace start to close down, start to wind things up, start to drop off their messaging, right? What did I say? What you do in your business right now is going to affect your business over the next 30, 60, 90 days. So if you want to maximize your profit potential in January, then for the next 21 days, you need to really focus on some of these things so that you can build a hot, fuck yes, ready to buy quality audience right now. Okay. Because you don't want to have not shown up for the next 21 days, which takes us to January 1st. If you don't show up in a strategic way for the next 21 days, then the potential for you to have a successful launch in January, like it's probably going to fall on deaf ears. Because what you do right now is going to affect your business in the next 30 days. So if you want more signups in January, more monthly recurring revenue, more, bums on seats, more money, like all the different things, right? Then, you actually need to start doing that now. Okay, so that people are like, fuck yes, shut up and take my money, because you've been speaking very directly to their pains and their pleasures and their desires. You've been meeting them like, not just the surface basic beige, stuff, but actually, hitting the back of the brain where, the things that they're laying awake at night thinking very specifically, one message, one offer, $1 million to your very targeted niche. Right, for the next 21 days, the more that you can speak directly to that, trust me, when you put an offer out there in January, it'll be, manufactured crack, cats to catnip. All right, if you wind up now and you have no plan and you expect to have a lively, engaged audience, the algorithms are going to downgrade you. If you just swish off, and I intend, like, we round our business up this week, right? Like, we're done from the 15th. And so we're having 2 weeks off, but we've built our business in a way to ensure that, of course, this is still happening, no brainer, and I'm floating around in the background. If people reach out, I may have a chat, I may not, but I get choice, right? Freedom of lifestyle, freedom of choice, freedom to have guilt-free time off within your business because you've future-proofed. Now, you may not have done this in advance before, right? But if you can pull together some quality stuff, not just shit, you know, but quality posts, do some live videos over the next 21 days, get some testimonial stuff out there or social proof results, that kind of thing, you know, send a few emails. You can absolutely schedule those, right? Add, you know, jump in here and there in the next couple of weeks and comment on a few things, your own posts, and raise the engagement, connection, do some stories, right? I promise you, you are so much more likely to have a super successful January. All right. And that's what I want for you. I want you to bank more money now with the hand raiser and potentially a scholarship offer off the back of it, you know, and then I want you to be set up so that you are audience building, you know, that you are keeping your audience warm and engaged and they are seeing your stuff while everybody else's. This is prime real estate, you guys. So many other businesses are going to be, you know, like in our flooded marketplace of coaching, so many other businesses are either going to be rounding things up and not, you know, showing up at all, or they'll simply be messaging to the surface-based crap that everybody else messages to in your industry at this time of year. Fucking boring, right? If you can get into their hearts and minds so much more right now, like, again, you are going to be the expert, you know, the go-to expert in your field for that particular, you know, area or thing or whatever. All right. So it's super important that you set yourself up over this next 21 days for a fuck yeah successful, you know, January and year. So I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Sarah. Sarah is the impact and growth specialist as part of my business. She is part of my coaching team with our clients, both our you know, our clients in our soul aligned empire, you know, who are generally coaches building, you know, 10 to 20K months. She also helps with our $1 million coaching program called $1 Million Creatrix, and does, you know, one-on-ones and things like that with our clients. She comes from multi-7, multi-8-figure business, guys, multi-7, multi-8-figure business. All right. And I know those figures sometimes are like, what the fuck? Like, I can't even imagine them, you know, but, you know, she has been around, you know, sales and auditing and support and coaching and, you know, like she absolutely knows what works, you know, within businesses and help supports at that level. We're very lucky to have her as part of the team. What we have done this week is we have made a few times available on her calendar. You know, this is like, I want to go, this is real, you guys, because generally when people sort of go, we've made a few times available on somebody's calendar, they're probably just bullshitting. We literally have like I told you, we're rounding up business this week. I am recording something like 3 or 4 podcasts. We've got closing ceremonies within our 2 programs. We've got some one-on-ones and we finish by Friday. All right. So if you want our help, all right, and you know, you want to enact some of these strategies that we've spoken about today, and you want us to help you more specifically and strategically, we genuinely only have a few times available, plus time is rounding up. Right, which means that, you know, if you want to get these, if you want to get more clients, you know, and bank more cash before Christmas, because Christmas is only like 2 weeks away, which is just crazy, you know, we want to help you, but you've got to jump in right now so that we can get you onto our calendars, so that we can support you, so that you can get your offers out there. And to be honest with you as well, these offers work better earlier in the week. All right, so I would rather you get a post out Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, if you can, you know, at least the hand raiser, and then let us help you fill in the gaps so that you can implement this stuff. All right, so that we can audit the, you know, what's the sale? Like, what are you going to offer off the back of it? So we can discuss maybe some upgrades, some high ticket stuff, and your personal pathway to success. But right now, so that at least when you then start having chats with people, you know, and then maybe jump on the call to offer something like a scholarship or whatever it might be, you know how to best monetize this kind of thing. So Van, who is actually, you know, within our Soul Aligned Empire program, she said Sarah is friggin' amazing, highly recommend, and the whole team love you. That's nice. We didn't even like pre-organize that like at all, right? So this is the offer on the table. This is our, this is our gift to you at this time of year. Our greatest, our greatest value is actually just service, and we truly believe if we just go out there, that's why I said, before, like, Tracy and I have just been talking for this entire last week, and we've been, giving her some upgrades and getting her in front of some more masterclass and tailored her post, her hand raiser, so she can get it out there now. We just want to genuinely serve. And so we've made Sarah available to you to help you with your entire start to stop sales system and implementing the strategies off the back of today. So you are clear on what you need to do to implement it right now to bank more cash at Christmas and make the fuck yes impact you want in your life and the lives of the people around you. All right. I'll be like, your clients, but you're allowed to want for your life as well, right? Impact and income. All right. So generally the only thing that is standing in your way are these two things. All right. Fear could be fear of judgment, fear hiding in the background of your business, fear of worthiness, fear that something might not work. Okay, fucking shit doesn't work all the time. That's business. Welcome to the party, right? That's okay. But we want to be able to test, measure, and adapt in real time. We want to be able to understand the business data. It is not a you thing. You are worthy. All right. And you are enough. And if you can dream it, absolutely, you can achieve it. And I don't say that like it's some beautiful saying, but it simply wouldn't be in your vision if it wasn't available to you. Okay. So we need to step you through the fear and the things that are holding you back. And to be honest with you, the quickest way that you can do that is by being around and in the environment of of the right people. It's that simple, because they are going to hold you to a higher standard of yourself, and they are going to hold the belief in you when your belief falters. So if you are not in a collective or in a place where that is the minimum standard, then again, we maybe need to have a conversation, right? Because we are some of the 5 people that we hang out with the most. All right. And there is nothing like environment. I'm going to give an example because we've just been using fitness and weight loss and health and things like that as an example today. If somebody wanted to lose weight, but their partner was just eating shit all the time, and then their friends just went out and got drunk, and that was the environment that they were hanging out with, do you think that they are going to have the level of success that is actually available to them if they were hanging around amazing, healthy people that, drink green juices and go to the gym all the time, and a partner that's supportive and all of these amazing things, right? Like, they're going to have way more success. So, I just want you to be mindful of this, that there is, another level available to you. And the best, fastest way for you to hack yourself is for you to hack your environment. All right. So as I said, this is our gift. This is the offer that is on the table, literally only right now. We are rounding business up, within the next couple of days ourselves. But of course, we're big givers and we are service people. And so we want to help you round off your year as well. And we want to do it in a way that is individualized to you, because it's one thing to learn all of this that we've talked about today. It's another thing to obviously specifically tailor it and implement it within your business. So again, we're more than happy to help you with that. All right. That is it, everyone. Give me a couple of your biggest takeaways. I want to know, what's been the most helpful thing that you've heard today. And obviously, if you're wanting to line up one of those, sales order strategy sessions, impact calls, implementation with Sarah, please just let us know either in the comments or message me, directly, and let's get that set up for you for now. Right. But yeah, what's been the biggest takeaways? I just want to hear, a couple of things. What's been super impactful? What are you ready to implement right now? Ready to go. Fuck yes to that. We will sit here. The hand raiser post. Yeah, it's a goodie. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, it's as I said, it's funny when it sometimes doesn't work. It just either fucking hits, and if it hits big. It doesn't hit small, right? But if it doesn't, if we miss the mark, then it's just kind of it flatlines. So it's so funny, but it's like fucking crack. I promise you. So it's just about what we've already done with Tracy, where we really like adapted it very specific to her niche. We're going to get it out there. We're going to test, measure, and adapt, right? And we're just going to see because it's the right strategy at the right time in front of the right people. And that's how we fucking nail it. All right. Yep. One offer, one message, $1 million. Right. Like, some people are like, you don't have to niche. I don't believe in that, to be honest with you, because, how can you speak to such a broad, like you just can't, it just falls flat. So we need to really dial it in. Know, what are we the expert in? Who are we the solution for? One offer, one message, $1 million. Love the hand raiser. Yeah, scholarship, such a great idea, and doing it within integrity, all right, as well, of course, niching down, speaking directly to our pain points. Awesome. And yes, you want to book a call. Amazing. Love that. All right, everyone. Awesome to see you as always. I'm super excited to hear the amazing results that you're going to get off the back of this. My love always. Bye, 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 bye.